Well, cheers. Here we are hanging out. Yeah, there's a little bit of news out there in the aviation world. Yeah, so anyways, I got my hands on this new fuel here that they're going to be using on airplanes. Hi, welcome to the superpilotish channel. I'm Graham Wilson, and I'm going to be talking about G100UL or unleaded in my basement. All right, so let's just try it out. Check it out. It's got the new fuel's got a pretty good nose on it. Okay, so that's good nose. We'll see what. We'll try this gas over here. This is 100 low lead. We got to do a little taste test here. Okay, that's good. It's got that nice lead smell to it. Yeah, airplanes still use leaded gas. The little ones. So let's see what it tastes like. Okay, we'll just check out the 100 low lead first. Well, pretty normal. Everyone's used to 100 low lead. It's got that little, I don't know, just a little bit of a fouled plug finish to it. So we'll see how we can compare that to our new G100UL. It's kind of like the 100 low lead, but I'm not tasting the fouled plugs as much, and it's got like kind of a less detonation kind of taste to it. That's some pretty good gas right there. Okay, and of course I'm joking around. That's just water. There's nothing in there. If it was 100 low lead, it would actually be blue in there. 100 low lead is the type of fuel that most little airplanes use. And just to prove it to you here, that's clear. It's not vodka or anything like that either. It's too early in the morning for that. Well, it's noon, I guess, depending on how you roll. But yeah, so this is a new big thing in the States. The FAA just approved basically there's this new type of fuel out there that you can use on airplanes now. I'll give you a little warning here. Okay. The warning is don't even try to go out there and try to buy this gas anywhere. This new gas is it's like, okay, it's been approved. They went through some really crazy testing on it, and once this gets put on YouTube, I'll put a little description with some links for things to check out, and I'll also I think I'll pin a comment there too that you can kind of click on some links and check out all this stuff about your G100UL gas for airplanes. Now, it's kind of it's one of these things that pilots do is that as soon as something new comes out, wham, it goes all over the place, and pilots gossip way more than old ladies do. You go to any airport, you'll just see for yourself. And so there's going to be all kinds of like information getting around. Oh, they're getting rid of 100 low lead. No, they're not. You won't be able to buy this next year. Yeah, you will. Like there's all these people, a lot of experts, a lot of Cliff Clavins out there, if you will. At every airport, there's a Cliff Clavin. Oh, well, Sammy, this is what you do, right? Okay, and so what I did is I checked out. I just heard about this. I got this idea from one of my viewers, and yeah, it's brand new. Just a few days ago, they approved this stuff. It's not going to be available for another 6 months to a year. So don't start calling up the FAA. Don't start calling up Transport Canada and say, I'm building a plane. Do I have to do anything special? No, just hang tight. Don't blow up their phones. The FAA and the Transport Canada are busy enough right now. So actually, I'm going to adjust my microphone just a little bit. I don't think it'll make any difference. Hey, there she is. Okay. Okay. Cliff Clavin. Yeah. Okay. Cliff Clavin. I'm just looking in the chat here with Wrench and Jordan. Yeah, Cliff Clavin is he was a character in the TV show Cheers back in the 90s, and he was a Mr. Know-It-All. And if you're old like me, you watch Cheers, then you'll understand that. I'm old. At least I'm not talking about Frank Sinatra and stuff like that. I'm not that old. Yeah, so I printed out this little, it's about 10 pages. It's a PDF of, and they, it's a company called GAMI, G-A-M-I, not to be I did a Google search on that on Gammy, and it's like, what? There's some kind of weird crypto token currency thing called Gammy. I don't know, but I don't think they're selling gas on the internet with that. So anyways, GAMI is the name of the company, and yeah, they got this great little questions about G100UL avgas, 10 pages PDF. It answers just about everything you want to know. So go there, and I'll put a link to it below. But the coolest thing that I like to that just looking quickly over, and I saw some interviews too with the guy that invented this stuff. It's very cool that it's going to be orange in color. So that's why I had it in the orange cup, because it's going to be kind of a, as it says, it's supposed to be a orange or amber color, which is really cool because if you mix it with the blue, that'll give you green. Hey, I actually have something green. There you go. Hey, and yeah, so if it does, and you will be able to mix this fuel together, and it's when it comes out, it'll be green. And then so in all these old POHs, the pilot handbooks or the operator's manual, basically for the airplane, they'll say, okay, it'll take this blue gas. They used to make a green gas, so it's kind of a green gasoline for your airplanes. And so that kind of stays in. So I thought that was a really slick thing to avoid confusion about the color of it, because that's one of the things you definitely check, and you're actually tested on that when you get your pilot's license. You got to take a little sample of fuel and you check to make sure it's blue with no clear in there, because if it's clear, it's water, and you want to see a nice light blue 100 low lead. Okay, and then as I'm kind of looking at here in the chat. Okay, yeah, here we go. Pilot Hut, Avweb says expect it to be 20 to 30 cents US per gallon more than 100 low lead, and I believe that's what it says in here too. Okay, in what off their website it says 60 to 85 cents a gallon more, but no matter what, it will be more. Yeah, so that's yeah, and I'm really thinking there too is that you could. I think this is going to be really something for the hot rodders to get into. If they're at the drag strip or anything like that. There's one guy when I was working at where I used to work. This guy came in and he wanted to buy some aviation fuel, so it's 100 octane, because he had he raced remote controlled boats, and he wanted to get the leaded fuel for. But I mean, technically, legally, you're not allowed to sell the aviation fuel to anybody else other than for airplanes. And where we had the rule that we couldn't sell it to anyone unless it was in their airplane. So if they had an airplane, they could fill it up, take it back to their hangar, siphon it off into a jerry can and take off. But that's the rules. The thinking there is because they're not paying road tax on it. But anyways, I let the guy take away a bunch of our waste fuel and just said, run it through some felt and you should be good. And he didn't come back. And I don't know, he gave us like $20 or something like that. And yeah, so there's the blue fuel for that. And so if the hot rodders, if they're going to be coming to the airport looking for this stuff, it's going to be orange. So if you're putting it in your car, you get pulled over for some reason. Like if you have a gas that's what is it? Farmers have their diesel fuel, or I think the diesel fuel is red or something like that. I forget, but it was. But Jordan here says that there's it is a different fuel, so that, and every once in a while I hear about that there's somebody from the Ministry of Transport will stop somebody's truck, pickup truck, maybe it's a diesel pickup truck, and check the gas color and say like, oh, okay, you didn't pay your road tax on this. You got your tractor gas in here. I mean, it happens every once in a while, but anyways, yeah. So, but I just thought that was really cool that they're making it orange. If it mixes with 100 low lead, turns green. Everything looks cool. That's a very cool thing. Another little change that I noticed was that it's a little bit heavier. So it's regular gas. 100 low lead is 6 pounds per gallon. According to what they say here, it's going to be 6.3 pounds per gallon for this for the new fuel. So that could be, that could be a consideration, especially if you have like a, I don't know, like a really I don't know, some kind of really big plane and you're loaded it right to the gunnels, and I don't know, it could make a little bit of a difference there. But something to consider. And also remember that would, I'm assuming when they did that, that would be at like a standard atmosphere. So if it gets colder, with extreme temperatures, that weight per gallon will change. But that's where you start off with. Okay. What else we got? Checking it out here. Yeah, so basically that was the kind of cool stuff about it, and it's not going to come out. It'll just be, yeah. So that's what do we got here? Yeah. Oh, another one here too is that there's a question about will it work for warbirds? So if you have like a really like an old Mustang or a DC-3 or something with great big engines on it, and high horsepower engines. So and just like what you're saying here, Wrench, is it's heavier and more money. What's the good side? The good side is it's better performance for large piston engines. So if you like in little airplane engines, like a little, I don't know, like a Cessna or a Piper, little engines like that, you really don't have too much trouble with detonation. But in the bigger engines with high horsepower, you're dealing with superchargers and stuff like that. That's where your detonation can come in a little bit more. If you're giving it a good shot of power there, that's when it might detonate. Before 100 low lead, they had even higher octane to get rid of that detonation. So there's that. So it's a little bit better. Oh, and we got another one here. Oh man, I love this. Everybody's chatting in the chat here. Eventually lead, and yeah, that's another bonus there too, is that the leaded fuels are, well, you don't want to be, well, they got rid of leaded fuels for a reason, like it's kind of poisonous and stuff, but so it's better for the environment and all that. Yeah, so it'll work on the warbirds, and if you're not sure, if you're not like a non-pilot, you don't know what detonation is, that it's when. So if you might have, if you know anything about an engine at all, you know that there's gasoline goes in there, mixes with air. There's a spark that goes off and then drives a piston down, and that makes the crankshaft go. So what you actually do is detonation is when the fuel will, it's basically like a little explosion inside. Ideally, you don't want the fuel to explode inside the cylinder, because then it's just a shock on the cylinder and the valves. So ideally, it's kind of like a quick burn. So the burn expands the gas and pushes the piston down rather than just shooting it like an explosion. So that's detonation versus regular engine burning fuel. And yeah, there we go. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty cool little fuel there. No rush. Don't call Transport Canada. Don't call up the FAA. Don't bug them and stuff like that. And so anyways, yeah, it's cool. It's come out and coming to an airport near you. Not coming soon, but eventually coming to an airport near you. And so that's good. That's good aviation news, and it's pretty cool. And I'm glad one of my listeners brought that to my attention. And yeah, like I said, I'll put a little link to a good interview that I saw, and to get that PDF. It's I think I said it was like, it's 10 pages. Handy thing to do if you are at a flight training unit or your local flying club or anywhere hanging around the airport, print it out and just put it out, leave it on a table for people to read. It's got like, it pretty much answers every question you could ever have about a new gas. And that'll clear up any of the gossipers saying, oh, next month you won't be able to buy that anymore. Well, yeah, you will. So here we go. Yeah, that is about it. So just a little kind of a short one here. Oh, another one too. For today. Today I'll see. Today's Wednesday, so of course my usual thing. What day is today? Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday, because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern, and I'm going to be the following Monday, the 12th. I'm going to be I mentioned it already. I'm going to be a guest on somebody's YouTube channel. It's called The Safety Doc, and I'll put a link to his channel in here too, and so you can check it out. I'm going to be doing that. I wasn't going to say exactly for sure I'm going to be doing it, but then I've been back and forth with him. We're definitely going to do it. It's going to be Monday the 12th at 8 o'clock my time Eastern, and so it'd be 7 o'clock his time Central, because he's in Wisconsin. So yeah, so we're gonna be, I'll be sitting here in the basement, and I'm gonna have my new headphones on so I can talk to him and stuff, and I'll look like a real YouTuber, and that's pretty cool and coming up. And I'm glad you guys came by in the chat here. It's like that's really cool. This is like every day for the last 2 days I'm getting record amounts of people in the chat, so that's I'm very glad you guys showed up, and even though it's just a little short one here today, have a great day. We're going to check you out on Friday, and Friday at noon Eastern, and that's about it. We're going to shut her down. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.